Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey,
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 and I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas Messi 16 Plus PureAgility in the latest Space Dust colorway. Now inside the box, along with the shoes, you do get an extra set of comfort insoles to go along with the lightweight ones already inside of the shoes. They do of course include a string bag, which you see right here. It's a black perforated mesh with black strings, and then has the Adidas and Messi logos there in white on the front. And of course, you get the shoes themselves, which you can see right here. Now this is of course the new Space Dust colorway for the Messi line, this being of course the top end 16 Plus PureAgility. And of course in today's video we're going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself. We're going to talk tech specs, performance, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more about this specific colorway of the 16 Plus PureAgility, stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, pop up on screen, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. Starting off with the colorway, this is of course the Space Dust variation of the PureAgility, which doesn't really follow the same patterns on the upper as what we saw from the first two colorways of this shoe. Instead, you have what is listed as dark gray for the majority of the upper, although in person, I'll definitely say that it looks like black to me. And then of course, you have your solar green accent in the form of a ring going around the bottom. It kind of fades to black, as you can see. And then you have your Space Dust on the shoe, which is essentially kind of lime green, very evenly spread out paint speckling, which actually looks pretty cool. You won't actually see the green dots until you're up close on the shoe from a distance. It just looks like they're solid black with the green on the bottom ring as well as on the sole plate. Speaking of the sole plate, you can see it has this very cool kind of anodized green finish to it. It does come with a warning sticker. I already removed it, letting you know that the finish on the bottom of the sole plate will wear off over time, but that is the case with all of the PureAgility models from Adidas. Same thing goes for Pure Chaos and Pure Control. But it won't wear off too quickly, so just keep that in mind. It is a wearable element of the colorway itself. You have your Messi branding right here in black on the medial side, the Tech Fit and Agility Knit branding in silver right next to it, an Adidas logo in green on the back, the Adidas stripes in metallic silver, and of course the Tech Fit extension piece that's a combination of black and gray. All in all, I think it's a very good looking colorway. I think it's the best colorway we've seen from this current generation of Messi shoes so far. On my video of the Space Dust Messi 16.1, a couple of you left comments asking if this colorway glows in the dark. It does not. I'm not sure where that information came from. Neither this or the Messi 16.1 does glow in the dark. Keep that in mind. Just a straight up colorway, nothing glows here. But nonetheless, very good looking shoe in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the Messi 16 Plus PureAgility is a decent shoe, but in my opinion, given the design of the shoe, which is quite similar to that of the X16 Plus Pure Chaos, I compare the two in a video on my channel. I'll leave a little pop-up on screen if you want to check it out. It is quite similar to the Pure Chaos, so much so that you almost have to compare the two if you are considering these at all, regardless of whether you're just into them because it is a Messi model. But again, given the similarities between this shoe and the Pure Chaos, I just think that the Pure Chaos, personally for me at least, is the better option in terms of just the experience of wearing them, the touch on the ball, and the overall comfort of the shoe in general. And I'll explain a little bit about why that is during this video. Now the PureAgility is the $300 top-end model in the Messi line. Below that you have the alternate top-end variation, the Messi 16.1, shoe that I recently did a video on. I'll leave a little pop-up on screen for that as well if you did miss that one. But the 16.1 variation, the cheaper model, is actually the one that Messi himself wears, or at least a variation of that shoe. Which is kind of funny because whenever you see a kind of player branded silo. Ronaldinho had one with Nike, Messi now has one with Adidas. You would expect that that professional player is going to wear the top end model that the brand would more or less imply was designed alongside that particular player, kind of made exactly to his liking. So for him to not wear this particular version of the shoe, I think is a little bit of a screw up in terms of Adidas's marketing department. And again, it kind of just goes to show you that marketing is a very powerful tool that isn't necessarily the most honest thing in the world, because again, if Messi designed this shoe exactly the way he wanted it to be, he'd be wearing this exact shoe, which of course he doesn't. So with this particular shoe, you're getting a combination of what is a TechFit internal structure, which is kind of what you see right here. This TechFit internal structure is kind of an elasticated material that runs from this extension piece on the sides of the upper and then flows down, cutting off at this exact seam that you see is kind of the shape of a V through the midfoot of the shoe. It cuts off on a pretty extreme, I guess, almost 45-degree angle, probably 40, 35 degrees. I don't know. It's been a while since I did math class, but you guys get the idea. It cuts off right on that seam, which I think is kind of an awkward transition point in my opinion. You really do feel this seam when you do pull the laces tight. And speaking of laces, these do have those. I know a lot of the pictures will show this shoe without the laces showing, but basically what's going on here is you have some nylon straps internally that actually attach the laces to the shoe. They still serve a very big purpose in terms of holding your foot in place inside of the shoe. And those nylon straps sit above this elasticated TechFit area. And over top of that, you have the PureCut sock kind of lace cover system, which is of course made out of the Agility knit material, which you see the branding of right here. And that is the upper that you actually see on the outside of the shoe. It's a mesh-based synthetic material. You can see it's a little bit exposed right here at the top of the actual lace cover. Then you have a thin layer of fused-on material on top, kind of as a protective layer and to make sure that the upper isn't left completely slick either. Non-stop grip, kind of Adidas's wet control element, is not a feature on the Messi line for whatever reason, but nonetheless, the touch on the ball that you get from this Agility knit material is okay. It's thin, it's soft, it's flexible, it feels really, really nice in hand, but that doesn't necessarily translate to the best touch on the ball I've found. It's thin, there's not a lot of extra padding to it, but for whatever reason, it doesn't necessarily translate into all that much ball feel, if that makes any sense. You can tell the ball's on your foot, but it's not that kind of pingy, kind of instant, almost barefoot feedback that you would get from something like a Mercurial Vapor. And that for me is one of the main reasons why I prefer the PureAgility model over the Pure Chaos, just because I feel the Pure Chaos just has a better, softer touch on the ball, plus the transition point is a little bit more favorable in terms of how it's positioned, where I not only think it impacts the comfort a little bit, I just think it makes for a more consistent touch on the ball as well. Whereas with this transition point, it almost feels like there's a little bit too much bulk in the lace cover area, where you don't necessarily get that sensation from the Pure Chaos. Moving on to the rear of the shoe, it does have what I guess is kind of a mid-cut design, although this very much is a low-cut shoe in my opinion. It's low-cut, but you have the extension pieces. It does have an internal heel counter, which is not attached to the sprint frame, obviously. All the other lines have a sprint frame heel counter combination. This doesn't. Internal with the S-curve heel. That's, again, kind of like what you're gonna get on the X line, but just a little bit more kind of minimal, if you will. It curves, but it's very, very short, which honestly I think looks better and does feel a little bit better as well, although you don't necessarily notice the longer extension piece that you will find on the X line. Internally, there's a synthetic suede heel liner with a decent amount of padding, which provides some pretty good comfort and general lockdown in the heel area. Insole fully removable. It's a mesh liner on top, perforations throughout, and just a single layer of this fairly thin black foam. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And then moving on to the sprint frame outsole, you can see the sprint frame branding right there towards the heel area. It's a TPU plastic material, has some decent flexibility to it. You have the stiffener bars through the midfoot and heel, so it's rigid in the spots that it needs to be. And of course, you get the Messi specific stud pattern, which is of course FGAG. It's the same layout you're gonna find from all the other lines currently available from Adidas, but there's variation in the tips of the studs in that the front ones and the very back ones are kind of conical in shape, while the rest are these kind of slimmer triangles. Overall, the traction is kind of on par, again, with the X and Ace lines in regards to traction. It's really difficult to kind of separate them in terms of, I guess, ranking them from best to worst, they all feel pretty similar to me. And if you've worn an Adidas stud pattern in the last couple of years, you kind of know what to expect here, given that, again, they haven't really messed around with the layout. One positive of this stud pattern, as well as the Ace and X lines as well, is that this is technically an FG-AG stud pattern. So if you do want to buy only one pair of shoes and you do play on firm natural grass and artificial grass, you technically can use this shoe on both of those playing surfaces. Granted, I definitely think that this is more of a firm natural grass stud pattern as it is a true AG stud pattern, but it does get the job done on artificial grass. You're not really going to have any issues in regards to durability or kind of safety in regards to just clinging too much. But again, more of an FG stud pattern in my opinion, but it does get the job done on artificial grass as well. In regards to weight, the Messi 16 Plus PureAgility is a very lightweight shoe. Of course, for the sake of the video, I'm going to weigh them for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. I'm going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.1 ounces, the equivalent of 202 grams, right at the 7 ounce mark, right at the 200 gram mark as well. And again, a nice lightweight shoe. There are some lighter shoes out there. In fact, the Messi 16.1 is a little bit lighter and also just features a more minimal design in general. But again, if you're looking for that lightweight feel, you're definitely going to get it from the PureAgility. All right, so here is a look at the Messi 16 Plus PureAgilities on feet. Out of the box, this shoe is fairly comfortable. There's a couple issues that I have with it though. The main issue being this seam that they have kind of in the shape of a V running through the midfoot area. Mainly right here on the medial side, there is a stiffer area just because of that seam where basically the tech fit material ends and the upper kind of just takes over. And what I don't like about it is it just creates kind of a hard spot that I actually notice on my foot. Now, this is something that will vary from person to person just based on the shape of your foot and of course how the shoe fits you specifically. But for me, I just find that a little bit uncomfortable. You get used to it over time as you wear the shoes more and more. But again, it's something that you don't really have with the X16 Plus Pure Chaos, which is a very similar shoe design-wise. So for me, that's one of the major downsides of this particular design. It's just kind of an awkward place to put a seam that does add some level of uncomfort to the shoe, if that makes any sense. The lacing system is also very shallow, so if you like your shoes to fit really tight in the toe box forefoot area, you don't necessarily get that from this shoe just because there aren't any laces there. Instead, the shoe does have kind of a low profile, fairly tight fit as it is. So it's not like the shoe has a sloppy feel or anything like that. It just doesn't necessarily have a lot of tightness from the lacing system wrapping your entire foot, if that makes any sense. The heel is cut fairly low, but really no issues in regards to slippage. And overall, it's a shoe that is decently comfortable. The Agility Knit upper has some good flexibility to it. And there's not too much to complain about in regards to comfort. Width-wise, it is a tighter fitting shoe, so if you have wide feet, probably not the best option for you. Again, comparatively, the X16 Plus Pure Chaos definitely is a wider fit all the way through. So if you do want this type of design and you do have slightly wider feet, you're probably better off with the Pure Chaos over the PureAgility. But as long as you don't mind a tighter fit, I would say that these probably will fit most people. And as far as the sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right guys, that's it for my review of the Adidas Messi 16 Plus PureAgility in the Space Dust colorway. If you guys are interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the first link down below or the little eye in the corner of the screen. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail price. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.